Attention, baby boomers. Remember that bankruptcy you filed, 35 years ago during your crazy wild days in the 60s and 70s? Well, it could come back. Oh gosh, that's even longer than 35 years ago. 40 years ago, 35 years ago, 30 years ago, whenever it is you filed that bankruptcy, and you've been an amazing citizen since then, and your credit score is good, and your debts are paid, and you're saving for retirement, you're helping your children and your grandchildren with a house or through college, and you're thinking you're doing pretty well. And now you're looking at your home and saying, I think I'd like to remodel it. Maybe I'd like to add some rooms. Perhaps I'd like to add on something and get it licensed and registered with the city and have an Airbnb. Perhaps I need to do some of those things now that I'm retired. I may live till I'm 95. I need some extra money. Well, I just had a friend let me know that a bankruptcy that she filed 30 years ago at the request from her lawyer to protect her from some debt came back to bite her when she tried to get a line of credit against her home to remodel her garage. She is shocked by that. She did not know that with a credit score of 840 to 845 that she could possibly be turned down for credit. She is in her mid-60s and she is an independent contractor, has her own business, and she is thinking that it might be something else besides that pesky little bankruptcy that happened 30 years ago. Unfortunately, I don't know everything I need to know about credit scores and credit reports, and I'm going to give you my word right now that I'm going to go find out and give you the scoop. But I can tell you that things that you've done in the past will come back to haunt you, and that they kind of count on that. The credit score that I used to be involved in when I first started having credit reports, I think the highest you could get was 700. Then, if I'm not mistaken, they made it 750. Then it became 800. So for a while, the ultimate credit score would be 800. If you have an 800, you would be able to get credit anywhere from anyone. They're telling you, you are an amazing person. You can get the lowest interest rates. You can get loans. You can get to the front of the line with a whole bunch of stuff if you just have a really good credit score. So when it was 800, and I know most of you know what I'm talking about, and you had a 720, they said, okay, well, that's pretty good. If you were under 700 and you had a 680, they'd say, 680, not so good on a scale of 1 to 800. 680, could you improve that a little bit and get yourself over 700? Then, lo and behold, they changed it to 850. So if you had a credit score of 750, not so good anymore, right? You go, wait a minute, I got my credit score up to 750 and now you've raised the bar to 850? That doesn't seem fair. And it, for sure, I'm pretty sure, in fact, using sure a lot here, I'm pretty sure that they keep doing that so they can fairly discriminate against you if they don't want to give you money, if they don't want to give you credit. So think about it. Now it's 850. So I went in to get a car with my husband. My credit score was 842, and I said, oh my gosh, 842 on an 850. That is amazing. Good for me. I've worked really hard to this age of 65 to get a damn good credit score. She said, yeah, but that's 842 out of 900. So now they've raised the bar to 900. So if you have a 780, you're looking pretty puny. I don't understand. They keep moving the goal line. So every time you get close, you're not there now because they've changed it now to 900. I know that there is a few factors. I understand a few of the factors. Debit to income ratio. In other words, if you make $80,000 a year and your credit that you have to pay every month is very high, they're going to say, oh, your credit score is lower. If you have credit cards and they're all maxed out, I know that lowers your credit score. I know that if you have credit cards and you have credit limits and you don't use any of them and you keep them open, and that someone is giving you that much credit, a high credit limit, that goes positively toward a higher score. That moves you toward a higher score. But why they've kept moving the goalpost, and now that it's 900, and now I look somewhat puny in comparison when I thought I was doing so well, I'm going to investigate that for you. But I'm telling you, everything you do now, since computers are king, can be recorded on your credit score. In the old days, and I mean I was back in the old days, not everything got on your credit score, not everything was recorded, not everything was reported. But that's not true anymore in this day of fast communications and internet and credit bureaus being able to report immediately when a payment isn't received. It's almost like the credit card companies have a line to the credit score people, and that it's automatic. And let me tell you, they make mistakes. So here's what you do. I know emotionally it's uncomfortable to check your credit score. It's one of those things that you want to put your hands in front of your face and kind of peek through your fingers and say, what is that? Does that say, oh, that says 650, damn it, that's terrible. And then you close your eyes and say, I can't look at it. You need to get your free one. You're allowed by law a free one every year. You need to print it out. You need to take an old-fashioned red pen, circle things, and say, this shouldn't be on there anymore. This is wrong. These are the things you need to do. So let's go over a few steps before I end this credit score craziness. First, you have to look at your credit score every year, at least every year, and make sure that it's accurate. Secondly, you have to understand that things you did maybe 10 years ago in your youth, or 35 years ago when you were just starting a family, could come back to haunt you. It could come back to stop you from doing something you really want to do. Thirdly, you need to build your credit by, number one, paying off some of your debt. Number two, getting rid of things on your credit score that are very old, that don't belong there. And three, you need to understand how the credit score works and what will hurt you and what will be good for you. So it's sort of an emotional walk through your finances when you get a credit score, but once you get a hold of it, it actually will bring you peace and confidence. I really need everybody to look at their credit score. And then we'll walk through this together. I will find out for you. So when you see this video, know that I'm going to start investigating that and find out exactly. I'm going to get some really, really good insider pointers for you on how this darn thing works, so it's not such a mystery. We all know that mysteries make us uncomfortable. Mysteries give us stomach aches. Mysteries can keep us up at night. We don't need our credit score to be a mystery. Life is mysterious enough. Let's tackle the credit score. Thanks.